This may be a bit surprising, but the primary thing that I use my library for in San Francisco are graphic novels. My husband and I like to read them, but it can be quite an investment because there's so many that keep coming out. So we were kind of amazed to see what a selection the San Francisco Public Library has of graphic novels, because when I was growing up, that wasn't something that you would easily find comic books, at your library. But of course, I do a lot of scientific research, so I'm lucky to be able to have access to academic journals through my graduate, where I'm an alumni at UC Berkeley. So I do a lot of online research too through the scientific journals. When I was just out of college, my first job was in Silicon Alley in New York City, and I was working as an editor and producer for a website, and I did not like my job at all. And I was dreaming of transforming my life, but I didn't know what to do, and I thought I should apply to graduate school. So I decided I was going to apply to graduate school in theater programs, even though I hadn't really studied theater in college. And moreover, I was going to present myself as somebody who wanted to do theater that communicated science, because I was really interested in physics at the time. So I went to the science, the New York Public Library had a branch dedicated to science, and I went there every day on my lunch break from work all summer long, and just reading every physics book I could get my hands on, and spent the summer putting together an application for graduate school that I think presented myself reasonably well. And that without that science branch, I feel like I never would have been able to reinvent myself and claw my way into graduate school, which if I hadn't been at Berkeley, I wouldn't have been able to do the work that I did on games. So I have very fond memories of that branch in particular, and just looking at all the quantum physics books and one at a time every day all summer long. It really helped me reinvent my life. Libraries already have what it takes in terms of being a community center, a physical space where people feel safe and where they feel inspired to think and to create. And the idea of libraries serving as a place where you can come and create, not just to learn. I think that's a shift that's really been taking place. We see libraries where they have maker labs, and libraries where they have these sort of hackathons or write-a-thons. And so I think this teaching and facilitating game design is really part of that continuing evolution. I think libraries should be a place where people come to make games. Game design is an incredibly collaborative process. You have artists, you have writers, you have programmers, you have play testers. People don't even know how to make games, but they can come and play your game and tell you how to make it better. And you can have musicians. I mean, the whole realm, every possible creative art and talent can be pulled into service. And that makes libraries, I think, a really natural space for encouraging young people, old people, to become literate in the skill of game design. If you want to take your library more into the future of gaming, but you're not sure where to start, there are a few places that would be really helpful. The game development community in general is a very generous and enthusiastic community in terms of collaborating with other organizations and communities. So I would recommend taking a look at the International Game Developers Association, IGDA. They're an online IGDA.org, and it's for game developers all over the world. They have chapters in virtually every city you can think of. They have meetings, they have events, they have newsletters, and I would say reach out to a member of IGDA and see what they could recommend. Have a speaker come, ask them what software should the library have if kids want to come and learn and practice game design skills. IGDA would be a great resource. Also, Games for Change is the largest organization for curating and supporting games that are designed to have an educational benefit or a social benefit, games that can help solve real problems and help change the world.